There we go. Good morning, artists. Welcome back on Tuesday. We're going to be doing a little more painting. Got our little guy here ready to go. We got some of his cute face going yesterday. He's looking excellent. And we got a nice kind of all over reddish orangey color that we're going to work on doing a little more detail today. Got my palette, got my water, got my everything we need. So starting with some orange and some red. Get some brown in there. A nice, rich, warm color. And let's start with a little brush so we can get the details going first. So now that the eyes are finished, other than putting in a little bit of a gloss to them in a little while, we want to get our darker color in as close as we can. Real close to the nose. I didn't get a chance to go see if I had any fabric yet that I could use for doing some fur details, but I haven't ruled that out just yet either. Good morning there, Bobbin Works. Well, thank you. I like getting that little touch of highlight in there. Hope you guys are doing good still. Kaylee's back too. Hi, Kaylee. A little disappointed that it's so cloudy out today. It would have been. We need to get a warm, sunny day so we can go outside and do some chalk art. Okay, so got those details done. So now let's start looking at, get our bigger brush. Most mammals tend to have a little bit darker colors on their backs that then get a little bit lighter once it gets towards the belly. So I want to get a little bit of this darker color on the back of the head especially, and down the spine. Hi, Dell. Dell in the chat. Thursday looks good for chalking. I'm gonna get a sunny morning. We'll have to see if the internet will reach that far. I think it should. I know I've had my phone doing music outside when I've worked in the yard before, so it should reach at least to the sidewalk. Alright, let's get a little, just brown. It's almost not dark enough. I want a dark color. So a little brown and a little black. So it's good to do this while the paint's still wet so that it'll mix in a little bit. So the ears aren't too dark, they're just dark enough. Let's get a little bit of it right around the eyes. So he had started as a fox and then became a sort of cat, rabbit, and now we're going to add a raccoon mask around it, because why not? Laura, on our stream yesterday, we started the painting on this little guy and our little dragon girl from last week. So if you missed it, you can go check out on YouTube. The stream is up there, so if you want to catch that later and see what we did that way, you can pop in and see it there. Let's add a little dark on the forehead. Yeah. We're going to get a little bit of lighter colors down into the bottom of the face once we get to those parts. But for now, we're just adding in our darker shade. So let's kind of outline the back here. And we're going to pull a Bob Ross and just tab it in. Like when he makes his happy trees. All right, what do you guys think? Should he have darker feet? Kind of like little dark socks, or do more like lighter and do almost like little white toes? What do you think? I'm gonna start getting a little darker color going, but I'll leave, or a lighter color going, but I'll leave the dark out there for a second. What do you think? You guys in the chat weigh in, please. Lighter feet or darker feet? White socks or black socks? Dark socks would end up looking a little more like a fox, yeah. They'd stand out then from when I do the belly too, because the belly will be a little bit lighter. Maybe we'll start off with some darker socks, and then if he ends up needing one white sock, he could have mismatched. We'll see how we feel. Acrylic is forgiving, so if we change our mind later, you can go in and give him some lighter socks. Oh, dark in front and light in back. We can do that. Of course, the tricky part getting in between them, in between the feet. Am I gonna give him beans, little foot beans? Sure. critters gotta have toe beans. How else can they make biscuits? If you guys don't know, making biscuits is when a cat or other creature starts doing that thing with their paws where they push back and forth, like they're giving you a back rub. It's called making biscuits, because it looks like they're kneading bread dough. Alright, dark toesies. Alright. So we'll go back in with our original color and just kind of get the edges here a little bit. That way when I start the lighter color, I have something to mix it in with. Alright, so I got just some plain orange on the side here, which we're just going to start taking little bits of and add it right along the edge of where we just put that kind of dark color. And it'll blend in as we go and start adding a lighter tone. I also hunted down some Mod Podge, which is a clear coating, and we're going to put that on his eyes later so that he's got nice glossy eyes. Like a doll's eyes. Sorry, Jaws reference. So these guys are made out of Sculpey clay. Just plain old white Sculpey. I enjoy the Sculpey clay. It's so fun to work with. It's nice that if you leave it alone for a little bit, it doesn't dry out, but as it cools off, it does get a little bit harder. So if you're working with some part that's a little flimsy, especially like a long tail like this, you can leave it for a little while and let it kind of cool off and harden up, so it's a bit easier then to work with the rest of it. Alrighty. So we're gonna get a little bit more orange. And then start getting a little white. What is it, Wiley? Neighbors? It's always neighbors. It's not even a question anymore. It's always neighbors. So now as we start getting into the lighter color, be careful not to go spread it out too much, or not spread it out, but you want to go a little bit slower so we can start doing this little bit of dry brushing where the paint is not, you're not filling up the brush with paint. You just got little bits of it and you start kind of brushing with it. Because you want to try and give it this furry look by just kind of doing it softly. 6th graders, this is something that I would teach you guys doing some animal portraits, which it sounds like we're not going to have a chance to get to this year. So it'll be something I get to say for you guys when I get you in 7th grade. I'm trying to sneak it in right here between the ear and the horn. It's a very thin space. Okay, let's get into the face now. I'm liking how that color looks. Now it looks like he's got a mustache. We're just gonna combine all sorts of animals. We're gonna give him a little lighter Shiba style eyebrow. There we go. It's a little bit of a gradual lightening out into the cheeks here. Sneak just a tiny bit of some more orange right around the eyes here. I try not to leave too many areas that are just solid one color. You want to layer it up and have lots of different shades happening. Alright, back to the big brush. Going with just orange for the moment, just to start and lighten up the edges a bit. Get ready to blend. Especially around our socks here. Let's grab our little brush again. No paint on it, just using it to soften the edges between the light and the dark. You're fine. Today's tea is chestnut. Give him that nice wet belly. too high, just barely showing on the sides. So now we're going to do the light stocking feet. Okay, did our light color. Now we're going to add some orange around the edges just to help get it ready to blend. Sorry, the angles are really kind of weird. I'm sure it's hard to see on this side compared to the front feet. Trying to give you guys the best show while still me being able to see what the heck I'm doing. So, blending in our orangey brown color now. Let's give him a little light tip on the tail. Start with our white blend and then mix in some orange. Back to our darker color. right. So here he is for now. Let's see. Do I have something small in it? Oh, let's get creative. So I've got this little tool, which is a nice little kind of clay tool. Very, very, very sharp. I'm gonna get just a little black on there. A couple little dots where the whiskers would be. And then we're gonna get the good stuff. I love Mod Podge. If I could make more projects that included Mod Podge, I would. It's such a fun thing to work with, and it makes things pretty and shiny. I even like the smell of it. There's a little bit in the top here just from me shaking it up. So I'm just going to use right from the top. And we're going to just put a little bit of this on the eyes. The acrylic doesn't have too much of a shine to it once it dries. It's a little bit plasticky. So it's got a bit of a shine, but this just adds a real nice little gloss. Mod Podge is great if you're making like collages, because it works kind of like glue. So it can stick things together, but then it also has this nice way of drying all super shiny. So he's gonna have these really nice shiny eyes. The last thing I need to do is a little something on these horns. They're a little plain. Take just a tiny bit of this super dark brown with the white. It's almost like a shadow kind of color. Just this super dark, faded kind of gray, and we're just gonna sneak that in around the bottom edges, just so that it has, I got a little fanfare with it, so it must be good. I don't know if you can hear him, but Wiley is again warning our neighbors about social distancing. And then we're going to use just a bit of water with it before it dries too much. And just kind of take a little bit of it away. So it's super faded. Ta-da. I don't want it to necessarily look like I painted a different color on it. I just want to have a little hint of something a bit darker. A little layering again. Yeah, much better. Brush. Lost a brush. That's all right. So there he is for now. We still got wings to add. I'm gonna have to go and hunt around and see what kind of stuff we can do for that. Depending on what they are, may or may not add it to a stream of actually putting them together, but you'll definitely see the wings when he's finished. But for now, his painting is pretty much done. We'll let those eyes dry, and hopefully by the end, in about 15-20 minutes, we'll see him. So in the meantime, where's my little girl? There she is. So off stream yesterday, I added in the little whites in her eyes. Try to get a little more of that detail. They were still a little bit wet, so we had a couple little spots that I needed to wait for it to dry. Just to better shape it. That's a little better. So let's start, same process with her then. We're gonna need, rotate. Ooh. I'm gonna need plenty of green on this, but we won't do like yesterday. We're not gonna pour out a ton. Tiny bit of purple. Some blue. All right, you can start with that. So we're gonna mix most of that up so we get our nice teal kind of color. We won't do the exact same thing on her though that we did on our little fox cat guy. I don't want to do too dark masks around the eyes, but we're gonna get this color on here to start with, so that it'll help with starting to blend outwards. So all the little indented areas, I'm gonna start with this darker color, because at least that will help with creating a shadowy feel. So around the cheeks, at the base of the horns and the fins. And into the back of the head. Big brush time. Okay, so now that we got our darker color filling in, let's go in with the green. Now, where our little fuzzy guy, we wanted to try and let the paint dry a little bit so that we could create a fuzzy effect. For her, we don't want that. I don't want her to look like she's fuzzy. I want it to look like her skin is just gradually changing from one area to the next. So for this, it's important to work a little bit faster. That's why we keep the big brush, so that we have a chance to mix the colors as we go before they can dry too much. Which of course means, since we're moving fast, I'm going to get this all over my hands. But that's fine. Art teachers are not afraid to get their hands dirty. Artists in general, I would say. Time for a slightly smaller brush because we're going back into the face. So the slightly lighter green around the eye, and then we sneak some more of that shadowy green underneath the eyebrow. This one's actually a really good one to paint for you guys because she can stand and I don't have to hold her to be able to see her face. It helps to keep things a little steadier. And she gets to stare right at y'all. It's okay, Wiley, they know. 6 feet. Alright, now we're going to lighten her up a little bit more. Gonna get some yellow. I know her goal was she was going to be the cool colored creature, and the other guy is going to be our warm color. And even though yellow's a warm color, we're going to mix it in with the green and get this nice bright green color. Help really bring out the highlights. camera again, sorry. Trying to get the top of this snoot. Yeah, we want her to look happy. She's a happy little dragon. It's kind of why I liked this pose too. I wanted it to have that feel almost like a baby or a child, you know, like just looking up at you, looking up at the world. Alright, we're gonna run over time a little bit, but we're pretty close to getting this painting done on her. So we might run a little bit long today. So from the sound of things, it seems that we are going to be probably staying home for the rest of the year. They haven't made any super official declarations of it, but that's what the news is starting to sound like. Other states are closing for the rest of the year. It looks like we're going to follow. It's a good idea. We want to keep everybody safe. So for those of you that are my students, what we're probably going to end up doing, since packets are probably going to not be a possibility, we're not going to have you guys showing up at school again to start picking stuff up, I don't think. We'll have to wait and see. But most likely scenario, artists, is going to be that we are going to be doing little lessons online. So no packets. It's going to be little various assignments that probably what I'll do is I'll stream them like we've been doing, and then it'll be more like a traditional classroom follow along where you guys would be following along and we're doing the assignment with me, so I can show you all of the tricks. And then the video will go up on Google Classroom, and you guys will be able to take pictures and turn in your work that way. And that way anybody who misses the live stream, so if you're watching this on YouTube later, that will be fine, and you'll be able to find it on Classroom as well. I haven't been putting up the streams on Classroom just because I didn't want everybody to be confused, like this was your assignment, that you would be somehow coming up with some clay and creating dragons and other crazy little creatures. But for the future, we'll be doing more traditional follow the teacher type art. That doesn't mean that I won't necessarily do other side stuff. So it may be that I will post something as an assignment and then give you guys like a day to do some extra work and detail on it, and I can do a little fun stream. Or even it might just become like, it'll be the Friday fun stream where I'm doing stuff like this, just little side fun art for you guys to watch along with. Let's get into the feet area, so those can have a chance to dry a little bit before we gotta sit her down. If it looks like I'm rushing, it's not because I'm trying to beat a clock or anything. I'm not trying to get this done fast to end things. I want to try and get the paint on here before it has a chance to dry too much, so it has we can mix things in really well, blend everything out. Yeah, Ken, we're still going a little bit because I want to try and finish up the paint on this lady. So probably not too much longer, but we're so close. Now we're getting a nice color. This yellow is pretty weak and watery, so it's not mixing as well as I would like, but gonna make it work. Okay. So last little bit of painting I want to do before we close this up for now on her. Oh, this thing just got gross. Okay. Bringing back the Mod Podge. so love that smell. It just smells like crafting. It smells like hanging out in the basement of my old house with my mom working on her quilts. And my dad working on his stereo equipment. Wanted to have that nice little shine in her eyes. Okay, and very important, before I forget. Mix a really light little peachy color here. But that is not for you, my darling. You need to scoot. I did not forget. You thought I forgot, didn't you, Dad? I did not. Must have proper paw beans. Just had to wait for the rest of him to dry off enough so that I could lie him back down then and not hurt his little beans. This will be like his little secret, since mostly he's just going to be standing upright. Only certain people will know that the beans are there. There. Proper pause. And look at those eyes now. See if I can get the light on them right. Look at that. Little shiny eyes now. Alright, everybody. That's going to be today. Went a little bit longer than intended, but that's alright. Tomorrow we'll see if there's something else that needs to be done with these guys other than just some little extra details. But we'll see. Maybe we'll be starting something else. Maybe we'll go back and take a look at those the Chinese animal characters that we were doing. Those were fun. I started doing some just drawing of them. But if you guys have any suggestions, make sure to let me know. You can let me know in the YouTube comments if you're watching this on YouTube. You can email me. Either way, let me know what you would like to see on future streams. But first, alright, dry your beans there, kiddo. Must end the stream the proper way and go hunting for puppies. I see one of them. Oh, they're both in here. Couch potatoes. Hi, Wesker. Here, look at that handsome boy. He's so handsome. He's so tired. And Mr. Wiley. Mr. Wiley Woo. Say bye, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow.
Stay safe and stay healthy, and wash your hands. Bye-bye.